まずレバノンで今どんな生活を送っているのか教えてください。
While now I am much more free to decide on whatever I want to do. But there are mainly four big chapters in my life now. There is one chapter which is education and consultancy. As you know, I am teaching pro bono on management and performance in one university in Lebanon. And also, I am offering some consultancy for large company in Lebanon and in the region. The second large chapter is about communication. I spend a lot of time writing books. 2 have been already published. There is the third one coming. Contributing to some TV documentary. I'm also assisting into a film that will be coming, and I'm giving some conferences. So this is the second chapter. Then the third chapter are obviously the legal battles. I have many legal battles, mostly with Nissan Motors, but also with Renault, in order to get my rights back and to defend my name. And this also takes some time because you have to coordinate between different legal teams in different countries. And finally, there is a business side. As you know, I am shareholders of different businesses in Lebanon, and I'm also participating into many startups, which also takes some time. But the most important part is I can spend a lot of time with my wife, Carol, and I have a lot of friends in Lebanon.
穴の開いた黒い箱に入ってあなたは脱走したと。その穴の開いた黒い箱の中でどんな気持ちだったんですか？
How I felt when I was in the box. I was very focused. I was extremely concentrated on the present because obviously I was playing my life in this escape. So I was not thinking about the past. I was not thinking about the future. I was just very attentive to what was going on around me to be sure that I will be totally reactive if something bad was going to happen. Fortunately for me, nothing bad happened. And this was my state of mind.
あなたはその箱の中でその同僚として逮捕されたケリー被告のことや逃走を手助けしたテイラー親子、さらには日本の友人たちのことを何か考えたことはなかったですか？
No, look, while I was in the box, no, but before and after, yes, I really feel bad and sorry for them. But I also feel sorry for all the people who in Japan are facing the Japanese hostage justice system.
ケリー被告の裁判で出てきた証言について聞きます。大沼さん、元秘書室長の大沼さんが裁判の中で、払っていない未払いの報酬を将来こういう形で払いますよという契約書のような資料を作って、その資料にゴーン氏がサインしたという証言をしました。これについてご自身はどう認識しているんですか？
First, as you know, Onuma and Harinada have signed a plea bargain with the prosecutors. When you sign a plea bargain, it means you're in the hands of the prosecutor because they can dictate to you what to say, how to interpret the facts. And Onuma and Harinada were obviously part of everything around the remuneration, and they've been asked against immunity to say the way that the prosecutor wants them to say. So frankly, I don't believe one thing into what Onuma or Harinada or Saikawa or all the others who were kept hostage of the prosecutor. Because when you sign a plea bargain, well, in a certain way, you become a prisoner of the system. Now, even if this document existed, as he said, the fact that I sign myself alone a document concerning myself is not binding to the company. It's not. I mean, in any company, for something to bind the company, you need to have at least 2 directors to sign or representative directors. You have to have members of the board going on.
あなたは私は1年9ヶ月前にレバノンに行ってあなたに直接取材しました。でその時あなたは、いつかその自分がその無実無罪である証明をちゃんとすると、でその証拠もある、いつかそれを見せるということを語っていましたが、実際にそれはいつになりますか？
Well, look, I'm not sure I understand your question. Let me tell you one thing. That means I'm engaged into a legal battle now with Nissan. The only battle existing is following civil suits. I am filing a civil suit against them in Japan, and they're filing a civil suit against me also in Japan. But I'm also, and I want to tell you this, I'm filing a criminal complaint in Lebanon against all those involved in raiding illegally my office and my home in Lebanon. So what was organized is totally illegal. They have taken, copied, truncated, transported documents, electronic devices, many different items. And what's interesting is I'm going to ask about how these documents find themselves on the prosecutor desk. How, but by what method? Who transmitted this? How all this illegal behavior has taken place? So you could consider that probably the French government is going to defend me because I was in Japan as a French citizen. They didn't. They just abandoned me. And on top of this, now the investigative judge in France is colluding with the Japanese prosecutor and exchanging documents. Well, it's very interesting because the same documents which have been asked by the Lebanese authority to Japan were not transmitted to the Lebanese authorities, which means the prosecutor in Japan decide whatever he wants to, transmit to the French legal system, but not to the Lebanese legal system. He is deciding with who he wants to contribute, even though he knows I'm resident in Lebanon, I'm citizen in Lebanon, and by law in Lebanon, I have to be prosecuted in Lebanon. I'm a citizen, I'm here, there is an accusation on me, very good. There is no extradition to Japan. So the only way to finish this story is for Japan to send the file to the Lebanese authority and for me to be prosecuted and judged in Lebanon. But they're not doing it. So you consider, you say, oh my God, but if they have such a strong file, if they have such a strong arguments, why they are afraid to send it to a neutral country like Lebanon? In fact, what's going on is Japanese prosecutors want to keep me incapable of moving from Lebanon for as long as possible.
やっぱりあなたの一連の主張はやっぱり日本の裁判の中ですべきなんじゃないですか？もしこの条件が揃えば日本で裁判を受けられる、または日本の政府が何を約束すれば裁判を受けてもいいか、それについてどう考えますか
？I will go back to Japan if first the hostage justice system is abolished and you have real rights for the defense, and frankly, with the government is a little bit more open towards foreigners.
あなたは最初に今ビジネスもいろいろやっていると話していましたが、これから何をやっていきたいですか
？Look, I don't have too much long-term plan. I'm more onto the short-term, as I said, legal battle, education, consulting, businesses, communication. Obviously, I'm receiving a lot of proposals, which obviously are handicapped by the way that I cannot travel. So we're going to fight the red notice of Interpol I lived all my life in the automotive industry. I'm being always questions about, what's going to happen, who are the winners, who are the losers, etc. So I spend a lot of time. So I have a lot of ideas about how this industry is going, particularly how industry will develop into emerging market, who are going to be the winners and the losers. And these are the kind of things that I'll continue to follow, and I may continue to contribute into this field.
He became this incredible celebrity CEO.
His companies employ nearly 500,000 people.
I became famous in Japan because nobody believed at the beginning that I would be able to make it, and I did it.
I would always tell Carlos, I'm scared. When things are always going right, something goes wrong.
I never thought this would end up like this.
最後までご覧いただきましてありがとうございます。テレビ東京の経済ニュース、経済番組をもっと見たいという方は、こちらの画像をクリックして動画配信サービステレ東BIZにアクセスしてください。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。